What in the world, boys? It's your boy Big Low Country. I hope everybody out there is doing good, feeling great on this Friday. What in the world? Where did I get that from? Goodness gracious, boy. Sunday, game day, victory Sunday, 1-0 Atlanta Falcons. What in the world, boy? Goodness gracious, I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. First of all, make sure if you're watching the show after we've gone live already on this Sunday, make sure that you put a what in the world bowl in the chat. Also, make sure that you hit that like button. In the words of the homeboy Smitty Sports Machine to help get us out into the YouTube universe. Also, make sure to share the channel with your friends and family. Here we are. We're continuing the tradition, except this year, this is the first time in Big Low Country sports history. Week one, we got to win. Thank you so much. Shouts out to our Atlanta Falcons, man. Shouts out to our Atlanta Falcons. Got this W. Week one, it's going down like there's a whale in the boat. First of all, let's show love to everybody that's showing love to us. We got John Brooks in here. He says, "What up, Big Low? What in the world?" And I smashed that like button, Big Low. I'm going to be honest. Really held on to the ball too long. Tyler and Bijan balled out, and so did Jesse Bates. Man, bro. He saved us. Jesse Bates. I don't know. I was singing to him as he was jogging off the field. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. I dashed my fears aside, and I knew that I would survive. Billy Mills, what in the world, bro? What's going on with your fam? Hope you're doing good tonight, man. The King's Sons in here says, really definitely seems to hold on to the ball too long. Hopefully, it's because it's the first game jitters, and you know that could be the case. That could be the case. Raider Beast is in here. What in the world, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. John Brooks says the King's Son. I hope that's all it was, but if not, if that's not what it is, um, man, look, says if that's not what it is, or he's hurt, we might have to go to Taylor. He's talking about Taylor Heineke. So, look, I mean, we just need the job to get done. Need the job to get done. T Mac said, man, coach had that fit on today, bro. Put that thing on. Look, man, I don't know, where everybody parked at to watch the game. But I know that we rode past the buses and they were singing the song. The Panthers players were singing the song, Coach Ronnie. They were singing the song. They were like, "We can't came to the A, and the boys broke our backs. They beat us blue. They beat us till we black. Like what? Beat the boys black and blue today, bro. Took it to what? Pound Town. Pound Town. We took the Panthers to Pound Town. They changed the slogan. They was like, "Hey man, please stop pounding. Please, please stop pounding." Oh man, Marina's in here. What in the world, Bo? What's going on? Bigger worlds. Much love, Ray 50. Much love to you, but Ray 50. He always check up on me like, "Hey, coach, coaches meeting tonight." I was like, "Yes, 1,000 times yes." So the Atlanta Falcons went 1-0. But we got to talk about the situation. We got to talk about what happened, right? So first of all, should we start with the polka dot elephant in the room, Coach Roney, or should we talk about the overall picture? What you thinking? Okay, let's talk about overall picture. Overall picture, Atlanta Falcons went 1-0. It's one of those situations where the defense showed up and showed out. Jesse Bates was worth the money. As a matter of fact, I told somebody today, hey, they might need to restructure the contract. Pay that man more. That man's averaging two interceptions a game. Pay that man more money. Why? How he got those interceptions? We're actually going to talk about that. The defensive line looked like a competent defensive line. There were times where Bryce Young got a little bit too much time, but at the end of the day, we gotta think he's playing against an NFL caliber team, right? So that's something that we have to keep in mind as well. Big Birdo's in here. What in the world, Birdo? Hope you're doing good tonight, my brother. I know that y'all feeling good up there in Rhode Island after we got this dub. Jodeci's in here tonight. Let's start a love. Shouts out to you, man. Will Cott's in here. What in the world, Bo? Alfonso's in here. Dante Spade says our defense won us the game. Shouts out to my homeboys, Rashad and Dave, Panthers Nation podcast. Look, if you're Panthers fans that are in here, you may have came from Panthers Nation podcast. Those are my brothers, Rashad and Dave. And, whenever I went on their post-game show, because I had to, my homeboy Padre, he hit me up. He like, hey, man, check up on Rashad and Dave. Call them boys up and do a wellness check. So I went on there to check up on them. And, first thing they said was, dang, Lo, we gave the game to y'all. We gave y'all 17, but like, wait a minute. Y'all didn't give us nothing. Y'all didn't give us nothing. We took no turnovers from y'all. Bryce Young didn't say, here, Jesse Bates, I want to give this ball to you. They ain't happy. Jesse Bates took it from him. He pounded the ball out of him. Well, pity. Anyway, so for everybody who's not familiar, basically, Rashad, he was like, hey, look, if it's one of those cases where if the Falcons win, you got to make me a pound cake, Big Low. I'm going to tell you something. Before I left the house, I didn't set no butter out on the counter so it could come to room temperature. I didn't, I ain't get ready. I didn't go check the ingredients to make sure that we got everything that we need to make the appropriate pound cake. I didn't do it because I felt like the Falcons were going to win. Also, shouts out to Archangel because he actually guessed the score perfectly. He said 24-10, and I be doggone, the score was 24-10. Me, myself, I said 21-10. I was close. Also, shouts out to Tyler Russell, who said 50-10. That wasn't the case. Shouts out to Coach Tyler and Coach Christine, man. I hope y'all make it home safely. Shouts out to everybody that was at the Benz today. First of all, y'all showed up looking good. Boy, Atlanta has some beautiful folks, don't they, Coach Ron? Yeah. Man, boy, y'all showed up looking good. That's why I pulled out the white pants. I told you I've been having something special. So I pulled them white pants out, sprayed them with some cologne before I ironed them, to make sure I was fresh. Issey Miyake. Then, everybody didn't only just show up looking good, but man, the band sounded good. It was reminiscent of what we had back in the day in the Dome, whenever we was on that Super Bowl run. D-Law's in here. Mike Hollywood. What in the world, Bo? Hope y'all doing good, man. It's organic. Says, I'm really not Eddie. What in the world? Eddie. You talking about Eddie Kendrick? What? Brian Lilson says, oh, what's going on, Big Low? We got that. Yes, we got that W, man. We got that W. J True Statement says, Big Low, what's going on, fam? Hope you're doing good tonight, man. Hope you're doing good tonight. So let's start from the beginning. Desmond Ritter, he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to start this thing off right, and I'm going to be a leader by catching the first pass of the game. Why in the world did that young man push the ball down? He caught the pass. It'd be different if he would have caught it standing up, being able to run and making the move. Desmond Ritter caught that pass after it got batted up in the air, 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, slid to catch it. I don't know. I guess the instincts just kicked in. I just would have batted the ball down, but he would have got the party started off right. Offense, it took a while for it to get going a little bit, right? Tyler Algier, I feel like he was the spark plug to really help get the party started for the Atlanta Falcons. I think he ripped off 2 or 3 big runs, and then Bijan Robinson ended off that drive with that beautiful touchdown. But I'm going to tell you something. Throughout that whole first half, all I could hear, I couldn't even hear the announcer. All I could hear was Coach Roney saying, I told you so, over and over and over again. They was like, it's third down. And meanwhile, Coach Roney, but this is y'all coach, right? Like, hey, Coach Roney, Like what in the world? Let's finish the game first. You've been a coach's wife before, you know. Goodness gracious. That Atlanta supporter says only thing I want Arthur Smith to do is open up the playbook and let Desmond Ritter open up to all of the players. Hey, you know, everybody talking like they in the strip club. Show us something. We want to see something. See something shake. Archangels in here says, "What in the world, Bo? Not only did I predict the score 24-10, but I also said in your last podcast that the Panthers. Wow, don't be calling them names because they're gonna think it's a rivalry. You know, I just offended them by saying that we like them. I told them they're my favorite team in the NFC South, and you know they got their feelings. Anyway, hold up story. We'll get to it. They basically says wouldn't score more than 10 points. Not with that weak offensive line. The thing is, that offensive line actually held up pretty good in the first quarter, first half. You know, but we were being pretty vanilla when it comes to I mean, we weren't running too many stunts or simulated pressures or anything like that, and we kind of turned that up a little bit in the third quarter. Around halfway through the third quarter. Does anybody know how many sacks we got in today's game? If you could let me know, definitely put it in here. Era says Pound Town, Bo. I didn't do that. Coach Roney. Coach Coach Roney did the whole Pound Town thing. Trey says, please stop pounding, please. That's their new slogan. Somebody just crossed out the keep and it just says stop. Stop pounding. 1-0, man. We 1-0. Tim in here says salute coach and everyone. Shouts out to you, Tim. Thank you so much, man. 95 North, shouts out to him. I know they did a live right after the game. Y'all make sure that y'all check that out. Willie Dots in here. Willie Dots says ugly win, but glad we got it done. What was the vibe like? I appreciate you, Coach Bo and Coach Roney. I, the thing is, was it really ugly? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's ask everybody in the chat. Also, we also have to say, because shouts out to Coach Willie Dot, man. Coach Willie Dot is one of the smoothest cats I've ever met in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's that dun da da. That's a Superman chat. Much love to you, Coach. If y'all feel like that was an ugly win, put a one in the chat. If you feel like it's a situation where we won by 14 points and it wasn't necessarily ugly, put a two in the chat. I just want to know what y'all are thinking. You know, um, but yeah, I mean, ugly win. Yeah, I know that y'all are used to Matt Ryan throwing the ball. Let the ball sail over the air, across the stadium, all pretty and everything, throwing the ball all over the place. Y'all got to remember, Des Ritter's not him. He's not Matt Ryan. He's not Matt Ryan. He looks like he could be his little brother, yes, but he's not Matt Ryan. I think it's one of those situations where we're going to be trying to win games a little bit differently. But you never know. Shouts out to Coach Wallace Smith. Seeing him at the Benz today. Much love to you, Coach Wallace. I hope that y'all got home safely. Much love to you. 100's in here says rise up. Norman Fitzgerald. Wait a minute, Coach. Everybody's saying stop pounding. Is this starting to become a thing? Stop. We're not rivals. We love them. We love the Panthers. They're pretty kitty kids. Stop pounding, Oh man. But yeah. If you feel like it's one of those situations where, yes, it's one of those cases where it was an ugly win, put a one in the chat. If you feel like it wasn't, put a two in the chat. Me myself, I feel like we can't necessarily put too much on Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter had 31 passing yards at halftime. I don't feel like you can put that on Desmond Ritter. I feel like it's one of those cases where you look at what Frank Reich did on the Panthers side of the ball, and you look at what the Falcons did on our side of the ball offensively. They were getting the ball out of Bryce Young's hands a lot quicker than what we had going on with the Falcons. Desmond Ritter, he would drop back, 5 step drop, and he's back there reading coverages, and it looks like they're long developing routes. Meanwhile, Bryce Young, he had a slant route here. That slant route wasn't there. He had something like something. He had something in the flat, or he just got the ball out to a playmaker and hope he can make a play. And there were a lot of times in that first half, those guys, they were breaking a lot of tackles out in space, right? So I mean, I can't legitimately say, hey, it's one of those cases where, we can put this on Desmond Ritter. We just got to put him in the best situation to succeed. You know, Douglas Fair just said, hey man, um, Packers, they up next. They're gonna take this L. Packers didn't look that bad, bro. They didn't look that bad. So I mean, we're gonna see. Let's get the GAs in here. He says Arthur Smith handcuffed Desmond Ritter today. Kyle Pitts 2 catches on 4 targets. Drake London 0 catches, 1 target. Bijan was our passing attack. Arthur Smith has to open it up, open up the playbook. I completely and thoroughly agree with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. To a certain extent, I feel like we went to the Bijan Robinson well a few too many times at one point in time. Look, and it's understood Bijan Robinson, he could break a big play at any moment because we seen like 2 times where he could have been gone if he would have broke that last tackle. But Tyler Algier was getting his man today. I mean, all I heard, because we were sitting right behind the Panthers bench, and all they kept saying every time they would come to the bench, the defense, they would just say, "Man, we just wish they would stop pounding." That's all they kept saying. Please stop pounding. JJ Gray says, Coach, looking at the TV stadium, it sounded lit. I think that's the loudest I've heard it on TV. The Falcons look rattled at times. I'm sorry, the Panthers look rattled at times. Thank you so much, Coach Ronnie. The Panthers look rattled at times. Also, dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat. Thank you so much, Coach JJ. But I mean, yeah, it was audibly louder in there, Coach Ronnie. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could agree with me. It had some really good energy. I seen somebody say that it felt like the club a couple of times.
The Panthers were rattled. They had several false starts and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a time where yeah, they had a few false starts, and you could tell by Bryce Young's body language a couple of times that he was starting to get frustrated, and things like that. He's probably gonna see number 3 in his dreams tonight because Jesse Bates single-handedly wrecked that Carolina Panthers offense. Bucks raised bolts is in here. Okay, Big Low, much love to you. Hope you're doing good. Fran Chisel says, "What in the world, Bo? Got that dub? Hello, that's it. You already know it, man. You already know." Okay, so they just told me we had 2 sacks. Okay, okay. So let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Is it 2? Okay, okay, yeah. They're saying we had 2 sacks. Ricky Gaines in here. What in the world, Bo? Hope you doing good. Matty Ghost, Superman chat says Coach Roney is right.
Yes, I am.
Arthur Fluff and McGarry. Uh, was that Mayfield in costume? Halloween around the corner. He must be practicing. Wow, Coach.
Still talking about that man.
Dun, dun, dun. Still talking about it, man. That's a Superman chat. Shouts out to you, Coach. Man, boy. Let Mayfield go. Let Mayfield go, man. But yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those cases where, yeah, I mean, Coach Rowland, she kept saying, Archangel says, keep pouting, you know. It's one of those cases where, we Arthur Smith, why does Siri keep trying to talk to me? Take this. Y'all heard what I said before the season started while we were in training camp. It's not, what in the world? Goodness gracious. Y'all remember what I said right before the season started while we were in training camp? Whenever reporters asked Arthur Smith, hey, are we going to be able to have explosive plays? Arthur Smith kept getting defensive. And whenever people get defensive, when you ask them a simple question, there's always something there. Y'all don't want me to tell the whole story about the croissants again. Croissant, croissant. Our friend, the waiter, wanted the croissants. I mean, anyway, y'all remember the story. Y'all remember the story, but it was the way he said croissant. So now it's one of those situations where, like, look, is it one of those cases where Arthur Smith isn't capable? Is he not capable of drawing up an efficient passing game?
So earlier in the chat, Marina, she said, like, or he said, y'all keep asking Arthur Smith to open up the playbook. Maybe it's fully open and his playbook is garbage.
Wow, wow.
And maybe that's true. Who knows?
I mean, maybe that's true. I mean, look, everybody in here knows that the biggest thing that I complained about this whole offseason, I love all the things that we did, but the thing that I didn't like the most is that Arthur Smith was not going to relinquish the play calling duties, and we also weren't going to get another offensive coordinator because Dave Ragone, what has he done? He was with Chicago before, and their offense was trash. They, I never forget, Mr. Trubisky only looked at half the field, so it's like it's one of those situations. It's not like their offense was world beaters. So why in the world are we still having Dave Ragone on this team and not opening up the passing offense? Because I'm going to tell you something. This Green Bay Packers team is better than this Carolina Panthers team that just limped in here today. Brian Burns, he was right there in front of us, and he was looking like he just decided to play right before the game started. Like, I mean, I guess I'll play. I mean, so it's one of those situations where you're going to have to put up some additional points. And you can't rely on the run all the time. I.e., the Cincinnati Bengals game last year. Y'all remember, y'all asked me, hey, y'all feel like we're going to win this game? Uh, what do we need to do to be able to hang in this game with the Cincinnati Bengals? I said, we got to be able to move the ball. Cincinnati Bengals going to air that thing out, bro. We're going to have to be able to keep up with them. If we're not, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly like an early 2000s Bubba Sparks song. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's what happened. Matty Ghost, he said it was an ugly win. Bucks raised Bolt said it was an ugly win. Biggs Worlds, Dante Spate, Brandon Levy, Alton Camp says it was an ugly win. Foles up also said it was an ugly win. Tony Wright says what it is though. Congrats to all Falcons Nation for today's victory. Yes, yes, it feels good. ATL Skate Man said he don't feel like it was an ugly win. I'm sorry, Ira. I apologize. Ira Howell feels like it was an ugly win. Coach Wallace, he says he doesn't feel like this was an ugly win. Shouts out to Willie Doc, Jabbo Grant, and the King's Son, and Raymond Elder. They all feel like this was indeed an ugly win. I'm gonna tell you, I don't feel like it was an ugly win. Did the offense not show up? I mean, just like Raymond Elder say, was the offense a little sluggish? Did Desmond Ritter only have 116 passing yards? Yes. Yes to all of those things. Was it an ugly win? We won by 14 points. What's ugly about that? The Panthers were in complete desperation mode. They couldn't move the ball. And at the end of the game, I mean, you could tell they were like, man, we've tried everything offensively, and it didn't work. I don't feel like this was an ugly win. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't feel like it was an ugly win. Now, was the offense pretty? No. But think about it. Some of y'all in y'all relationship, y'all ain't pretty. But it's a beautiful relationship.
It's still a beautiful relationship.
Some of y'all ain't pretty. But a relationship is beautiful. Y'all have y'all anniversary. Can I just see you every morning when I open my eyes? Some of y'all ain't pretty, but the relationship is beautiful. That's how this game was. The offense wasn't pretty, But it wasn't an ugly win. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just putting that out there. Brady says horrible first half on offense. The bad guys in here says defense played great too. He said it wasn't an ugly win. Archangel also agrees. He says it don't feel like it was an ugly win. DA said a win is a win, coach. A win is a win. Look, I do need y'all to do a country boy a favor. You know, if you're excited that the Falcons have started this game off 1-0, you need a way to express that because I was high fiving everybody in Mercedes Benz today, and if I didn't get a chance to high five you, or even if I did get a chance to high five you, and we need to express that energy, you can express it by hitting that like button. I would definitely and greatly appreciate it. Kevin's in here, Coach Dre, about whatever. Dre true statement. They said, nah, it wasn't an ugly win. And Dre, he followed it up exactly what I said. The offense was just ugly, but it wasn't an ugly win. Like I said, some of y'all ugly, but the relationship is beautiful. Oh man, yes, it was a tale of two halves. Mr. CDA is in here. What in the world, bro? Shouts out to him, man. Shouts out to him. Tay Bro says too. This ain't no beauty pageant. This ain't no beauty pageant. This is a miscongeniality win. A lot of y'all don't even know what I'm referencing when I say miscongeniality. Ricky Gaines says, Coach, Arthur in his play calling strikes again. We got to get a rhythm offensively. Early next week, Packers handle business today. On to the neck, on to the da da da. That's a Superman chant. Much love to you, Bo. Look, I mean, I wanted to ask y'all though. It's like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna tell y'all what I think in this regard. We should have played more in the preseason. We should have played more in the preseason. I don't know what's going on. M Harden is in here. It says a win is a win. Run game was on point. I completely agree with you, Bo. A win is a win. Dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat. Much love to you, man. Yes, yes. A win is a win. Run game showed up. Was the offense ugly? Yes, the offense was looking pretty bad a couple of times, but it was a beautiful win. Beautiful win in our beautiful stadium. I had somebody tell us today. Somebody told me today at Margaritaville. It was like, man, this is my first time coming. Man, that's such a beautiful stadium. I was like, yeah, best fan experience in the NFL. But what could have made this win even more, even nicer, is if we would have played in the preseason. I'm gonna tell you something, Coach Ronnie. If we would have played in the preseason, we could have won this game by 25 points. Easy, easy. Because just like you said, yeah, we had the Panthers. They had some false start penalties and things like that. We had a few holding calls and a few false start penalties. Do we have false start penalties? I know we had a few holding calls and things like that ourselves. A block in the back and some stuff like that. And I feel like the only way that situations like that are going to get resolved is just by playing ball. It's like I don't care about the joint practices. It's something about being out there under them lights with people yelling, people screaming, and you want to make a play and you want to look pretty. There's something about that that's different than making a play at a joint practice in the sun where only media members are there. It's completely different. It's completely different. Let's see. Cedric says, "How can we pass the ball when we have to double team Brown and Burns at the same time?" I mean, I'm gonna tell you that's part of the reason why. How many tight ends we got on the roster? If I'm not mistaken, four. But that's part of the reason why we run double tight ends because if you have guys like Derek Brown and Brian Burns out here, if you run two tight end sets, you have safety in numbers. That's what Arthur Smith's supposed to specialize in. He really likes to use those double tight end sets. You don't know who's staying, you don't know who's coming out. That should have been resolved. I'm sorry, that should have been resolved. the passing game has to get better. If you want to compete in today's NFL, the passing game has to get better. Cut and dry, simple and plain. Cool Beans in here with the Superman chat says 10 for the win. Terry F. 1-0. Arthur Smith had Drake in handcuffs and Kyle Pitts broke out of death row somehow. Hello, Coach Ronnie.
Hey!
Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Wait a minute. Oh, that's $10. That's $10, ain't it? Man, I heard while we was walking in the stadium.
What's up, what's up?
Oh,
What's up,
what?
what's up? What's up, what's up? What's up, what's
Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Appreciate that, Cool Beans. Much love to you, bro. Much love to you. Who that for life says, did you see the Saints defense today, bro? Lights out. Ooh, weak, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come in here and talk about some
Nobody
Saints.
care.
Ain't nobody worried about you, Otis.
Saints.
Ain't nobody come to see the Saints, Otis.
We played our rivals today.
We played our rivals. Urgh. Man, it was so heated. Whew. I told him, take all that hate back up with you at 85. Like, yeah, it was, yeah. So, mind you, do want to let y'all know we went on Rashad and Dave's show after the win. You know, they was on there talking, and I just said something. I was like, hey guys, you know, shouts out. Before I left, I said, shouts out to all the Panthers fans. Much love to y'all. Y'all are actually our favorite team in the NFC South. We ain't got nothing but love for you. Then I got off, and then Rashad today was like, man, did you hear that? That was disrespectful. He did that on purpose. Like, how can I show love? And it's a situation where it's like, man, Lo did that on purpose. You see that? Ain't nobody say nothing about, you know, I was just showing love. He was like, yeah. I see what he was doing. Like, the hate is just on one side, bro. Oh. You can't manufacture a rivalry. Goodness gracious. So shouts out to my homeboys for shot and day, you know, man. Shouts out to him. Let's see here. Oh, Cartier's in here. I know he's happy. You know, they got naked. Um, Tampa Bay got him a win today. Baker Mayfield. I told everybody sleeping on Baker Mayfield. He showed up and showed out.
You must have. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the highlights.
Oh, I see the highlights. He looked pretty good. D. Williams in here. He says should have played the starters in pre. I agree with you, D. We should have played the starters in the preseason. Now the roof wasn't open. Thank goodness. Because last year they opened the roof, boy, it was baking in there. It was hot. It was hot up in that thing, bro. Tony Wright's in here says, "Low, all of the complaining is are those Matt Ryan hating, another Michael Vick wanting Deshaun Watson, wanting Lamar Jackson, wanting Malik Willis, loving so-called fans that won't stop complaining. Man, boy,
Oh.
goodness gracious, ooh,
Dang, no.
doggone, man, there's a lot of aggression in that thing, bro. It's almost it feels very similar to um the Panthers aggression towards us that wasn't reciprocated. All right. So Jesse Bates. Let's go ahead and talk about Jesse. Jesse. Where is Jesse? Jesse Bates came out here first game in an Atlanta Falcons uniform and forced three turnovers, two interceptions, one fumble, all over the field, directing that defense look completely different. Look completely different whenever you have somebody back there that really knows what's going on, direct people all over the place. I haven't seen a defense that I remember back in the day whenever we would get turnovers with Mike Smith and it felt like an act of God. Like if we got an interception because we always played this soft coverage. We would let them catch it. Make sure that everything was good. They would adjust their pads, and then we would come up and tackle them, right? And the only way we got an interception is that if the quarterback threw the ball high, and they would try to catch it, and it would bounce off their fingers, and it was a tip drill. Then we would catch an interception. This defense here is a lot more aggressive, and they're undercutting, jumping routes, doing all kinds of stuff, and I mean they're taking things to a whole nother level. Jesse Bates and I can kind of tell y'all what happened on one, if not both of those interceptions.
What happened?
Bryce Young was too short.
He look. We were sitting right behind them. He is really small, y'all. Like
Yeah,
he is legit small.
yeah. He look like he's shorter than 5'10".
He is definitely shorter than 5'10". He's about
Yeah,
5'8".
yeah. He like
He
5'8",
might be 5'7".
5'9".
He
Yeah,
is small.
I'm telling y'all.
He is not
I
5'8".
think that's what happened because he threw the ball in the middle of the field, and you could tell he was throwing to a spot where he knew the receiver was supposed to be at, but he didn't see Jesse Bates coming down to get it because he couldn't see over the
He couldn't
line.
see over the line.
And I feel like that was one of the reasons why he threw those two interceptions.
I'll say like he definitely would come back over there and like talk to his offensive lineman. He definitely had. I could see him being like a captain, having command of the offense over there. But he is short.
He's short. He's short. He's short.
I think we're about the same height. He was not. He was not tall.
I wouldn't have doubted it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have doubted it. Yeah, y'all look like y'all might be the same height.
Yeah.
JJ the Great says Panthers wandering aimlessly around Bojangles. They ain't wander. They wander aimlessly around Biscuitville.
They're pounding aimlessly around Biscuitville.
They're pounding aimlessly around Biscuitville. Look, if y'all ever in North Carolina, there's this place called Biscuitville. They're all over the state. Make sure that you go to Biscuitville. It is legit.
And
Dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat. What you say, baby?
get the strawberry lemonade and stir it up. That thing is delicious.
That strawberry lemonade be hitting, bro. It be hit. I could look if you used to like Hardee's back in the day, whenever they were legit making them biscuits from scratch, you gonna like you some Biscuitville.
And they'll put anything in them biscuits.
They'll put in salt. What they put pork chop.
Anything in between some biscuits.
They'll put anything
You
between
buy
that
it.
biscuit. Yes, that thing be hit. That thing be hit. Dredd says Eric, I can't cover Harris. Would have never been in the right place at the right man. See, this is what the problem is. Y'all living in the past. Y'all talk about Jalen Mayfield and Eric Harris. Look, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Stunt 7 Stunning here says, we're the ops at Big Country. I'm assuming y'all are Panthers fans. Look, man, you welcome. Much love to you. Thank you so much for coming in here and chopping it up with us. And let us know if there's anything that we're missing, or any knowledge from your team that we should know that we don't know. But definitely, any Panthers fans in here, y'all know we ain't got nothing but love for you. Y'all are our favorite team in the NFC South. We ain't got nothing but love for you. Kyle says, Bryce Young too short is why. Okay, so I guess they see. I mean, because it got to the point, and coaching staff, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. It got to the point where it was like pretty obvious because.
Kyle doesn't believe that. He was saying it like, yeah, all right.
Okay, I mean, all you gotta do is look at the formations that they threw the ball in. 90% of the time, they threw the ball in an empty set, or they threw the ball when he was in shotgun. And he was still taking steps back in shotgun so he could look over the line of scrimmage. Meanwhile, whenever he would line up under center, that's 85, 90% of the time they would run the ball. And that's predominantly because they wanted him far back from the line of scrimmage as possible. Number one, I'm pretty sure because the offensive line, they didn't have that much trust in it, but so he could kind of look over that offensive line. So, I mean, I feel like after a while, if you can't see so much, you just gonna start trusting what you think should happen. I mean, at the end of the day, but it's like Kyle. I'm assuming that you're a Panthers fan as well. Look, don't be upset. Y'all are our favorite fans in the NFC South. We ain't got nothing but love for you. Can't wait to play you again. Oh man, Jenny Lee says, "Where the Carolina talk show got man? You know what? I was actually on their chat a little bit earlier, like right after the game. Rashad and Dave, they're some good sports, man.
But
Shout
not
out.
good enough to come on the show. They're not gonna do
And
that.
look,
They're not gonna do that.
it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm not gonna ask those guys to come on here. I
They
know that
wouldn't have come even if he did.
you don't know that.
I 100% know that
You
because
know.
if you go back and watch the NFC South Roundtable, Rashad was very clear that he would not come on the show if they lost.
But he wanted that pound cake though.
But he wanted the pound cake if they won.
And you know what's crazy is that I was so confident that the Atlanta Falcons were going to win this game. I made a one-sided bet. I didn't even ask for nothing from Rashad. Number one, because I knew he wasn't going to pay up, and number two, I knew that I wasn't going to have to pay up. So look, I was like, all right, Rashad, I'll send you a pound cake. The King's son said, Big Low, our pass rush is trash, or the Panthers' offensive line is good. Which is it? I feel like it was just one of those cases where, like I said, they're trying to get the ball out of Bryce Young's hands as quickly as possible. And there were a lot of times they were just sending three people. They just wanted to make sure all of their bases were covered, especially because at the beginning of the game, we were missing so many tackles, especially out in the flat. So I think it's just one of those cases where they just wanted to make sure that we swarmed accordingly. Uh, Marine says Bryce Young jumped on the shoulders of his center to throw the ball. Hayden Hurst caught. I've been stopped. I mean, and mind you, I do want to let y'all know this is a situation where I'm picking on Bryce Young's height because, look, the Falcons got torched for years by a short quarterback by the name of Drew Brees. So I'm not picking on Bryce Young's height. I feel like it's one of those situations where that's just going to be an obstacle that he has to defeat to take it to the next step. I mean,
Drew Brees was taller than him though.
yeah, Drew Brees was a little bit taller than
Yeah, he
Bryce
was definitely
because
taller.
I think they said he was like a little under 6 feet.
He was, but he was definitely taller than
Yeah,
Bryce.
yeah, he was tall because Bryce legit looked like he 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, he's.
Yeah. Dre says that Panthers pink that defense Derek Brown or whatever Sexy Red said. I'm
Wait.
that Panthers
That Panthers Pete. That defense is wrong.
that defense Derek Brown.
That defense Derek Brown.
Falcons took him to Power Town, man. That's all I can say. We flew them out.
Delta.
Delta.
In the finest Delta.
We flew them out. Delta One took them to Power Town.
Oh
Molly Miles says, we got. I know we got a defense, Molly Miles. I guess Molly Miles become a Falcons fan. You saying we like he got a mouse in his pocket. 'Cause I know he ain't talking about the Saints. Pasta Girls in here says Falcons won, Braves won, UGA won, and Bama lost. We doing good in the A, man. I enjoy watching Alabama lose. I don't know if it's that hate in my heart or what, but I enjoy it. Shouts out to Dana. Much love to you, Dana. Hope you're doing good tonight. We just enjoying this win. Um, Willie Doc says, loved how Pitts shoved dude head out the way to make that amazing catch. Would have never happened with Mariota. What does Coach Smith do this week? Hey, that was a really really good catch. Also, dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat. That was a really really good catch. Um, Kyle Pitts. We want to see him in more of those situations. If I'm not mistaken, to a certain extent, he was kind of in double coverage. So I mean, to a certain extent, it's like it really wasn't a pass that should have been thrown. But I've been tell you something. It's like give the young man a chance, and I'm hoping that plays like that kind of gives Desmond Ritter some reassurance that like, hey, like you can take some of those shots because look, if we continue to run the ball like we did today, that box is just going to fill up. You're just going to be having 8 people in the box, and they're going to be daring us to throw. So I mean, yeah, it's one of those cases where we need to make sure that this offense can be balanced. You know, Bijan Robinson.
Is this the elephant in the room?
This the elephant in the room.
First,
First, what, baby?
do a little housekeeping.
Do a little housekeeping.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure that everybody bring your lights to me.
Oh,
Instead of
baby,
bringing
the lights.
Look, instead of bringing me all your dishes while we do this house cleaning, make sure that you bring me all your likes. So make sure that you hit that like button, you know, while we get ready to talk about B. John Robinson. Help us get out through the YouTube universe. You know, if you're excited about B. John Robinson and you don't know what to do, you were at home and you got naked, or if you were like Uncle Steve and got naked at the Benz, got us kicked out, make sure that you hit that like button. But I've been telling
No
you.
sweat said we got 161 watching and only 41 likes. Coach, stop the show.
Stop the show. We can't stop the show. We gotta talk about B. John. Shouts out to you, Key. But yeah, B. John Robinson. That touchdown, Coach Ronnie. I mean,
First one of the game.
first one of the game. I mean, is it just me, or is he living? Did he live up to the hype?
I wasn't disappointed. I enjoyed what he was doing out there.
This kid's vision is. It's almost like he's Neo.
Slowing everything down.
It's like he's slowing. He know what's gonna happen before it
Plucking
happens.
the ball out the air in mid.
Plucking the
freezing
ball,
and plucking it out the air.
freeze the ball, plucking it out of the air. I mean, P. John Robinson. I I just remember. I remember back in that 2016 season, and whenever Devontae Freeman, he would be in a small space and he'll make a move, make somebody miss. Everybody be like, "Ooh, ah." But the thing about Devontae Freeman is that he did it too much. And a lot of times it didn't work, and he just tried to run people over. But Bijan Robinson, this young man caught this pass, was running, stopped, and it's like he jumped back like he was doing the electric slide. No, the wobble. You know what I mean? Get in there. Yeah, yeah. Get it back, get up. Hey, girl, back it up. I mean, he stopped, jumped back. Then he had two more guys to beat, broke those tackles, went into the end zone standing up. Bijan Robinson. Just and the crazy thing is that this offense wasn't even clicking. So just imagine if this offense is clicking and you spreading the ball out accordingly, Bijan Robinson gets put in more one-on-one situations because he's looking like an automatic make the first man miss kind of dude right now. Like that's the way he's looking right. I'm sorry. I gotta ask the coaching staff, y'all. If Bijan Robinson, if you feel like he lived up to the hype in this game, put a 3 in the chat. If you feel like, you know, for some reason, it's not he ain't living up to it, put a 4 in the chat. But if you feel like he lived up to the hype, let me know. Molly Mouse says we stopped Derrick Henry. Look, Derrick Henry's a bad man, but I think we can all agree he ain't what he used to be. I mean, I don't know if we could all agree on that or not, but I don't think he's what
John is fresh, new,
what he used to
new
be.
hot thing on the field.
Exactly. I think if you say, hey, Derrick Henry or Bijan, I take Bijan. I take Bijan. Atlanta Bird Game's in here. He said, I love watching Bama lose too. It's definitely the hate in my heart, bro. Shouts out to old tidy Atlanta Bird Game, man. Atlanta Bird Game boys out there on Facebook and on YouTube. Shouts out to them. Y'all check them out, man. That's my homeboy. Coach Ray, I don't know if you ever heard, Tidy, he do the Waffle House show.
What's that?
Tidy get on there like at 12 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Then they sit around talk about sports like you get sitting up at the Waffle House.
Okay.
That's one thing that, I go to the Waffle House and like they be want to talk to me about sports. I be like, man,
All Star Special.
I just want my All Star special. Like, well, you know what I get. I just want my bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich with double hash brown, double covered. That's all I want.
Chunk one time.
Chunk one time, double covered, chunk one time. It be like, yeah, man, who you think gonna win the Super Bowl? Like, bro, it's cold outside. I just want to get my food and go home. But see, Tidy, you can talk about it in the comfort of your home. Oh man, Tonyo TV says Pound Town is crazy, man. You different. That look, Tony, that wasn't me. That was Coach Roney. Coach Roney did the whole. I don't even know the song.
Oh, you don't?
I don't even know the song.
You don't know Sexy Red?
Why you ask me like that?
I don't know.
All I know is that I just be walking around the house and you keep yelling ski yeet at me. That's all I know. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what's going on? It's cold for something. I just be walking around out ski yeet. Like, what that mean? Oh man. Willie Dodd, he said, what was B John's stat line? I get my phone, baby. B John's stat. So the crazy thing is that the stat line wasn't, just jumping off the walls crazy. I know that he got me 20 points in my fantasy league. I do know that. But so 10 rushes for 56 yards. So he averaged 5.6 yards a carry. Then he caught 6 catches for 27 yards, 1 touchdown. Crazy thing is that he had like 2 plays or maybe 3 plays where he was almost gone. But that last tackle, he couldn't break that last tackle. Like, I would say he left 60 yards on the field. Easy. Easy left 60 yards on the field. Mills in here just laughing. Oh, man. Man. So let's see here. Yeah, Jay. That's it, man. That would be John. Get in there. Yeah, yeah. Hey, big girl. Get up. Hey. I mean that's what he did. He just took a step back on him. I mean, Bijan took a step back on the old boy. Like, yeah, we can't hang around each other no more. He legit took a step back. Eastside Atlanta, Willie Dock, they all agreed. They said, yeah, Bijan is living up to the hype. Millie Bill says, Low, the D line played well, but I want to see the pocket get crushed and more sacks. Yeah, and that's what we was talking about. Before the game, Millie Mills, we were talking about that crush rush. We got to collapse that pocket, and hopefully, it's one of those cases where the more that they work together, they can collapse that pocket together. Ali's in here. He said, "Hey man, I feel like Bijan's living up to the hype." Kevin agrees. Will Amy also agrees. Atlanta Bird Gang, the kid, they all agree. They feel like Bijan's living up to the hype. Jason says Allen Bijan is crossing people over on the football field. Allen Bijan, Allen Iverson, hitting them with that. That's how I cross people over, Coach. Right? You pulling it because you got to throw that head in there with it. Head and shoulders. It's not shampoo. It's a crossover. Huh. You see that? Okay. I do. Millie Mills, Kinfolk. Excuse me. Biggs World. Hopefully hopeful. YN Charles, Atlanta Skate Man, Will Amy, Jason Bott, they all agree. They feel like it's one of those cases where Bijan lived up to the hype. I mean, even if the stat line wasn't crazy, 56 rushing yards, 27 passing yards, and a touchdown reception, it was still one of those cases where, hey, Marcus Johnson, like, we were looking at each other like, hey, I think we got something on our hands. Ira says, wait until we have all of our injured players. He says 3. Mac Child Dudd is in here. What's going on with you, man? What Coach Ronnie? It's week 1. We played the Carolina Panthers. Why am I talking about the Titans with the Falcons? Like he,
What?
like what in the world? He,
Y'all barely,
y'all barely,
barely beat
y'all
them.
barely won. Like goodness, by the skin of y'all teeth. By the skin of y'all got good teeth. The skin of your teeth. Genie Lee says three. Justin Farmer says, "Hey man, um, yeah. I think it's one of those situations where it's obvious that B. John lived up to the hype. I mean, the King's son said, "Hey, boy, I got naked." OG Tony, Dre, B. Ball Red says three. What's good? Hey, man. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that B. John's gonna live up to the hype. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, Coach Ronnie. In the words of Carl Dukes, I'm starting to look ahead. B. John Robinson, Rookie of the Year.
Ooh, that's a lot.
B. John Robinson, Rookie of the Year. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
That's a lot.
He's a polka dot elephant in the room. We got an elephant in the room. We got a unicorn. I mean,
A Joker?
we got a joker.
I didn't see him today much. Did he play?
Nah, he ain't played today.
Oh, okay.
You got a joker. You got a Young Money rapper. I
Who's
mean,
Young Money rapper?
you got Drake.
Okay.
With your phone, I gotta hit them angles. Shouts out Drake, man. I was in an establishment the other night. I heard that passion fruit come on. You know, that's my jam. Coach Ronnie, she don't like it for some reason.
I'm not a big Drake person.
Man, that passion fruit from miles away. Passion of
I
the
like his
things
first
you
mixtape, and
say.
then after that, I wasn't really feeling it.
Man, you gotta rock with Drake. I can hold you down. Damn, boy, how can you not rock with Drake? Tonio says, love the channel. Brother, y'all killing the Atlanta Talk Sports. Y'all do big. Hey, appreciate that, Tonio. Much love to you, Bo. Much love to you. Man, look, we love to talk about these Falcons, especially whenever they get these wins. And hopefully it's one of those cases where we get a lot of these wins this year. We got Coach Christy Lewis up in this thing. Shout out to Coach Christy. Christy says, rise up all the way from sad Vikings home folk, Minnesota. She says, I'm the only person in red and black. Their time is coming too. Oh man, who that fly said y'all be the rookie QB, bro? We essentially had a rookie QB ourselves. We essentially had a rookie QB ourselves. You know, think about it. The Saints be the QB who a lot of people thought wasn't even gonna be the QB.
And he showed why with all them interceptions he
Exactly,
threw.
exactly. So I mean, let's think about
They
this thing
acting
now.
like they beat Aaron Rodgers in
It-
his prime.
exactly. They barely squeaked by. Barely squeaked by. So hey, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Traylon Burks played, did he? Number one wide receiver. I don't think he played. So look, one thing that Coach Roney taught me a long time ago. Don't let nobody discount your wins. Like don't come talk about, oh yeah, y'all little win, y'all beat a rookie quarterback. We won.
If it's big, if it's little, I'll take it, and so will
Exactly. It big to me though. It's big to me, and it's probably big to you. But you just got that hate in your heart, and you don't want to admit to all the coaching staff in here that it's big. That's all that is at the end of the day. Much love to you, Bo. Much love to you. So next week we got the Green Bay Packers. The Packers actually look pretty good this week. Um, the thing is that is it one of those cases where the Packers look that good? And these are the questions that we ask at the beginning of the season when we're still trying to fill all of these teams out. But the question is, do the Packers look that good, or did the Bears just look that bad? Because I mean, these past few seasons, everybody's been saying that the Bears just haven't been putting Justin Fields in a good situation. So that defense gave Justin Fields a hard time today. So it's one of those questions. I mean that's the big question that we're asking ourselves. Because I'm looking at their stat line. Um, Jordan Love. I mean, on offense. I mean, shoot, he balled out. Jordan Love, 15 yards. I'm sorry, 15 yards. 15 completions, 27 attempts, 243 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, one of those was the Aaron Jones 51-yard pass. I mean, so yeah, it's one of those things where we're just gonna have to see. Justin Fields, 24 completions, 37 attempts, 216 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 9 rushes for 59 yards. Still running for his life. I'm running for nothing. Shouts out to Troy. Seeing Troy today. Will Amy says, Big Low, this offensive line has to play better early in this game. I mean, look, man, I agree with you, but it's like I said earlier, William. I feel like the offensive line wasn't playing as well because they they haven't played. They only had one series of live action. In the words of the Turtle Man back in the day, the Call of the Wild Man,
Live action. You
live
heard me?
action.
Anytime you gonna catch a live animal,
Yeah,
it'll get crazy.
exactly,
Live action.
live action. I mean, they only had one series of live action, so I mean, I can't sit here and say that they were bad. Well, I can't say they their offensive line struggled, but it's also you got to put some on Arthur Smith too. He has to fill that team out, and everybody in the stands was saying, Uncle Steve, he was sitting in the stand saying, "Hey, like let's not even run it. I mean, let's not even throw the ball no more. Let's just pass it." Before B. John Robinson caught that pass and ran that touchdown, Uncle Steve was yelling no whenever he seen it was a pass. And that shouldn't be the case, right? Like we shouldn't have a starting quarterback and whenever we get ready to throw a pass, you're like, no, no, don't do it. Yes. That shouldn't be the case. And all I'm saying is that we it's a situation where we need Arthur Smith needs to be able to get just develop some plays to get the playmakers the ball in space where you can air the ball out. So it's not one of those cases where the box is loaded and we have to figure things out. My goal going to London is to be 3-1. That's my goal, Coach Ron. If we could be 3-1 going to London, in the words of Carl Dukes, we're going to the playoffs. I'm starting to look ahead. You got Green Bay this week coming up. Then you got Detroit. Then I'm sorry, so 2-1. If we could be 2-1 going into London, I am good. I am good. So I mean, it's one of those cases where we just gotta. That's right. Well, we gotta open that playbook up. But the question is that is the playbook already open? Just like one of the coaches mentioned earlier, is it one of those cases where the playbook is open and this is just what it is? Mark says, yeah, I'll take an easy dub. Anyone looking bad anyway. Yeah. Project Warriors in here says, rise up, baby. It was a slow start, but it's the beginning of the season. We really heated up in the first half. Yes. Yes. I'll definitely take that. But one thing that I can tell you is that the fans were in midseason form. The fans were there showing up, showing out. They were there early. Whenever we kicked the ball off, there were more people in their seats than there normally are. So I'll take that. I'll take that
And
every
it was
time.
mainly Falcons fans.
And it was mainly Falcons. Well, where we were sitting at over there, it was on the away side.
It,
So there was,
oh, look at
yeah,
this one.
yeah,
Looking around.
yeah. Looking around across from us, there was a lot of Falcons fans. Padre says, "Hey, coach, sorry I'm late, but it took me a minute to get that bowl of purple M&Ms from your dressing room." What in the world? He said, "I miss your performance of the A House Is Not a Home." I hang up and listen. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. The purple M&Ms. First of all, do M&Ms have a flavor?
No, they don't. You're what? If there may be like a
What about Skittles?
Maybe.
I don't think Skittles have a flavor, do they?
I feel like they might.
Y'all let me know in the
I
chat if
mean,
y'all
their
think
slogan
Skittles.
is "Taste the Rainbow."
Yeah,
It
but
gotta mean that there's a slight difference in taste.
I don't know. Wait a minute. See Padre trying to make me look foolish. Talk about, talk about purple is a color, man.
You
What?
asking for stuff you don't even know what it is.
Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry. The grape M&Ms then. Okay.
But you're saying that Skittles says taste the rainbow, but it all tastes the same?
I think so.
Oh my God.
What?
Well, they've had some of the worst advertising for forever.
Mark says Skittles has flavor, so
Yes.
oh, okay. I mean, I thought for sure. Now I know Starburst. I know that you know those pink ones are a hot commodity. Tim Falcon in here says, "Hey coaches, rise up. How do you feel about our run defense? Think we can clean that up? I'm a fan of the pressure we got. The run defense, especially in the first half, was looking kind of rough. Miles Sanders was looking like early Miles Sanders back in Philadelphia for a minute there now. But I really feel like that fumble kind of slowed him down. Marina says Skittles are flavored to the back of the package. It has flavors listed. M&Ms only come in brown, red, green, and blue.
Oh, I never knew they had flavors on the back of the package.
Me neither.
I have to check that out.
Me neither. But 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 it come in. So if they ever come in brown, red, green, and blue, what part they talk about purple?
I've had some of the bags that they do specialty flavors, and at
Oh,
one point they were adding purple. I believe.
I think I remember that.
Wasn't purple the one that was sexy with the heels on?
First of all, I don't never call a cartoon sexy. So
What isn't purple the sexual M&M that wears high heels and
it was just
lipstick?
it was just a girl M&M. It wasn't supposed to be sexy.
I think this was the one that had the controversy because she was the sexy one,
Why you
and
keep
they.
saying why you keep saying M&M sexy? I just kept saying it was just a girl. I don't think it was supposed to be sexy. Like, yeah, that was the sexy
I
one.
think she was the one that was
Yeah,
supposed to be
controversy.
sexy, and then they had to go back and like make her more like bookish. Like they made her like a '90s movie, like she was a nerd that wore glasses now, but was like beautiful underneath.
Oh
Like I
my
think they
goodness.
went and changed the purple M&M.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, somebody said it was the green M&M that was sexy.
First of all, what none of them sexy. They were just girl M&Ms.
Thank you, Solo A. It was the sexy green M&M. Oh.
Probably just, I think Skittles does have different flavors. I don't know how Padre just come in here and just change the whole. What in the world?
Oh my god.
It was the green M&M. Coach Roy like, dang boy, that M&M sexy.
They were trying to make her sexy. I didn't say I thought she was sexy.
I mean, you just keep doubling down like, yeah,
I enjoy saying that the green M&M is sexy. I do. That doesn't mean I was like, green,
oh yeah,
okay.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Tyler Rose says I was wrong. It was a lower scoring game than I thought. 70-3 was way off.
He's off a smidge.
Well, I tell you one thing, look like Dallas is going for 70-3 right now.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Look, I do need y'all to make sure y'all do a country boy a favor and hit that like button. Marcus Johnson says M&Ms are chocolate. They have no flavors. Y'all, boy, y'all are just goodness gracious. I does what I do. Lord have mercy. Look, man. So I mean, here we are. The first game of week one. We got it in the books, guys. It's crazy because it's like we've been working up to this moment for um ever since February, and it feels good for it to culminate in a win. And I just want to let y'all know, thank all y'all for coming in on these shows and you know providing entertainment. Because the crazy thing is that y'all aren't only helping provide entertainment to everybody who's watching with all of your great comments, but you're also providing me entertainment as well, and Coach Roney. So we definitely want to thank y'all so much for coming on and chopping it up with us. Look, I mean, we're going into week 2, 1-0. So, we're feeling really good about that. But look, I need y'all to make sure that y'all hit that like button for us. Also, make sure if this is your first time watching us, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a show in the future.
Go eat
Right.
some sexy green M&Ms, guys. See you next time.
Well, I got a feeling we're gonna have some green M&Ms in the house. So if you didn't hear Coach Ron say, "Go eat some sexy green M&Ms," I don't know what's up with the green M&Ms thing. But look, man, I need y'all to stay safe. Please don't do anything that I would do. And look, we're gonna try to get ready for week 2. Thank y'all so much for being involved in the coaches meeting, and I hope that y'all have a safe and productive work week. Rise up, A-Town down. We ready.